हेलो।
सलवात पर मोहम्मद सल्ले अला मोहम्मद व आले।
ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين. قال الله الحكيم في محكم كتابه ومتقن خطابه: لا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله ونظم أمركم. As we are departing the months of Safar, and we commemorated the departure anniversary of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, and Al-Imam Al-Hasan salawatullahi alayhi. And as you see that Imam Al-Hasan salawatullahi alayhi was trying to promote the word of Tawheed in a way that was different from the way of Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. But at the same time, this difference of action would not make the personality of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam different from the personality of Imam Hussein in terms of attitude. It means that if Imam Hussein alayhi salam was in the position of Imam Hassan,
It is possible to handle
okay,
his device is not
okay.
Okay.
If he was in the position of Imam Hassan, he was acting like Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And if Imam Hassan alayhi salam was in position of Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi, he was acting like Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said about Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein: Al-Hasan wal-Hussein imaman in qama aw qa'ada. They both are imams, no matter if they are actually standing or they are sitting. They are both imam. And there is actually a statement from Imam salawatullahi alayhi. I would like just to recite it to you today. He was saying this statement to a person by the name of Junada. It says, Ya Junada, Ya Junada, استعد لسفرك. Be prepared for your journey. The last journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. استعد لسفرك وحصل زادك قبل حلول أجلك. السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. You have to, collect your provision before the advent of the death. You see that when you want to go to overseas trip, you are prepared, About 2 weeks before the trip, you are collecting your stuff, you are buying some stuff, 2 months, huh? MashaAllah, yeah, 2 months. Some people 2 months, yeah. They have to go and find out the ticket to be ready for this journey, which will last for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But what about the journey which is not returning anymore? We have to go one way. You see that sometimes you get the ticket, one-way ticket. This is the safar of Akhirah, is one-way ticket. You go without returning. Even if you want to return, they will tell you, Kalla. Some people, they say, رَبِّ ارْجِعُونِي لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِي مَا تَرَكْتُ. Let me back to this dunya, then now I'm going to do the right thing. He says, Kalla, no way. إِنَّهَا كَلِمَةٌ هُوَ قَائِلُهَا. This is what he's saying. If he's back, he would be the same person. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ بَرْزَخٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. That there would be barzakh for them. Barzakh is the limbo or partition. Is the place between this dunya and Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's why the hadith says that the barzakh is إِمَّا رَوْضَةٌ مِّن رِيَاضِ الْجَنَّةِ أو حفرة من حفر النار. And the barzakh, either our destiny would be determined. Either we are in the Jannat of barzakh or the fire of barzakh. حفرة من حفر النار أو روضة من رياض الجنة. Okay, so this is what Imam alayhi salam says, that حصل زادك قبل حلول أجلك واعلم أنك تطلب الدنيا والموت يطلبك. We are in this world, in this life, constantly looking for the positions of dunya. I have to go today to this place, buy this. I have appointment with the real estate. I have appointment with the doctor. All actually talking would be about seeking about the dunya. But Imam says that وَعْلَمْ أَنَّكَ تَطْلُبُ الدُّنْيَا. You are looking and seeking dunya وَالْمَوْتُ يَطْلُبُكَ. At the same time, the death is looking for you. وَالْمَوْتُ يَطْلُبُكَ. وَلَا تَحْمِلْ هَمَّ يَوْمِكَ الَّذِي لَمْ يَأْتِ عَلَى يَوْمِكَ الَّذِي أَنْتَ فِيهِ. Salaam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This statement is saying that don't have long hope. Don't have long hope. I remember I was talking to my brother about my late father. It said, he was telling my father that I have to renew your passport. He said, I don't think about the passport anymore. And he was thinking why, it was time to renew his passport, and he didn't show any interest to renew his passport. And this is here, Imam Al-Hasan Salawatullah alayhi says that, this is the nature of human being, that looking for the work in 20 years, what he has to do for 20 years. I remember I had a colleague at the school, he was old man. And he was saying that, okay, when I'm going to graduate, I have to do this and I have to find for the job. And mashallah, he had very long hope that he is going to, live in this world for more than 30 years. But as Imam Salawatullah alayhi said that, try to limit your expectation. Always you have to limit your expectation about your longevity. Why? Because you have to know that if you don't do this, then your sense of attachment, you are going to have obsession with the sense of attachment to this dunya. You have constantly to remind yourself that, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بَأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. You don't know what will happen the next day. The reason that many people, they are surprised by the calamity because, they think that, this dunya is permanent, or, when they say, it is, I agree that it's not permanent, but for themselves, they see it as permanent. That's why it would be very difficult when there is the adversity and calamity. So, this is what Imam Salawatullah alayhi says that فَأَنزِلْ الدُّنْيَا بِمَنْزِلَةِ الْمِيتَةِ خُذْ مِنْهَا مَا يَكْفِيكَ. Maybe I said this about this statement, that you have to get from dunya like the one who is taking from the dead flesh, which is haram in the first place, but it would be halal. Okay. Then Imam Salawatullah alayhi says, وَعْمَلْ لِدُنْيَاكَ. This is from Imam al-Hasan. وَعْمَلْ لِدُنْيَاكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَعِيشُ أَبَدًا وَعْمَلْ لِآخِرَتِكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَمُوتُ غَدًا. Work for this dunya like you are going to live forever, but also you have to work for your akhirat as you are going to die the next day. What is the meaning of this? It means that you have to have balance between the sense of attachment and detachment at the same time. Don't just foster the state of attachment. Some people, they take the first phrase, وَأْمَلْ لَدُنْيَاكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَعِيشُ أَبَدًا, but they forget about the other part which says وَأْمَلْ لِآخِرَتِكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَمُوتُ غَدًا. So you have to think. And it's very difficult to have this together. Because when you are expecting to live for a long time, how you can actually couple this with the expectation that you may die tomorrow? Because if you know that you are going to die tomorrow, you are not going to do lots of things. You don't, I'm going to die. And you say, if you have to build a house for your children, and they say, next day you are going to die, you don't have any actually, interest to build the house at that situation. I'm going to die tomorrow, why I should, work for the new house? But if you know that you are going to live for a long time, then say, whether you missed your salat for 1 year, say, no, alhamdulillah, I have still time. I'm going to live for 20 years. I do it later on. He is postponing to do his wajibat. The salat, the sawm, financial responsibilities, there he's going to postpone it. Still I have time. There is no deadline yet. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when Quran says that you don't know what will happen the next day, it means that the deadline could be any day. So you have to be ready for this, and at the same time you have to know that you have responsibility to do what you have to do They said that one of the scholars, he was on his bed and he was close to death. He was sick. And somebody visited him. He was a scholar too. And he started to make, a scholarly debate with him. And they told him, Moulana, you are going to leave this world in maybe 1 hour. He said, still, I have to take opportunity to increase my knowledge. If I take more knowledge and go, it is better that I waste this time. And some people, he knows that وَأَعْمَلْ دُنْيَاكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَعِيشُ أَبَدًا وَأَعْمَلْ لِآخِرَتِكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَمُوتُ غَدًا. As I said, that we are always, remember Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, brother of Imam al-Hassan salawatullahi alayhi, because he continued the path of Imam al-Hassan salawatullahi alayhi, and he actually continued to promote the cause for which Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam also offered his life. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us, inshallah, opportunity to make our lives, inshallah rahman, consistent with the lives of Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhim ajma'in. I was talking about 3 days ago in a majlis about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They forgot to hold majlis for Rasulullah. Then they wanted to actually hold the majlis and said, yes, you did right, because unfortunately we are dedicating our majalis only to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and we forget other imams, including Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Imam Hussein alayhi salam became Imam Hussein because of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The statement of Rasulullah which says, Husaynun minni wa ana min Hussein. We are taking the second passage, Husaynun minni. But wa ana min Hussein, we take ana min Hussein, but Husaynun minni, that Hussein is Hussein because of me. So we have to, pay attention to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's, to remember Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and to promote the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in order to understand also the path of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. We cannot know Imam al-Hussein without knowing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this is the reality, that we have to make Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam known through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and vice versa. It means that if you want to know Hussein, you have to know Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And if you want to know Muhammad, you have to know Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi, because they are on the same line. And if you want to reach the destination, you have to go through the way from the beginning till the end. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us true followers of Rasulullah and followers of Imam al-Hussein, as we recite in the ziyarat, وَثَبِّتْ لِي قَدَمَ صِدْقٍ عِنْدَكَ مَعَ الْحُسَيْنِ. And, I should be actually the one who is proving by action that I am the follower of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على أئمة المسلمين سيما أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب صلوات الله عليه وسلم على سيدتنا سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة صلوات الله عليها وسلم على سبطي الرحمة الحسن والحسين وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة القائم المنتظر. اللهم اجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه والمدافعين تحت لوائه. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله ونظم أمركم. قال الله الحكيم في محكم كتابه ومتقن خطابه: يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب. You know that there is a verse in Quran which says that إنما المؤمنون إخوة, that mu'mineen, the mu'mins, they are brothers. And the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran encourages the strengthening the relationship between people who share the faith, because without this strong relationship among the followers of Islam, the Islam would not be robust and strong. And that's why the unity is the result of this universal brotherhood among Muslims. And there is encouragement to strengthen this brotherhood. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says that anything which will disturb this unity means the weakness of Islamic society. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says that believers should consider each other like brothers and sisters. So anything which will affect this brotherhood in a negative way is prohibited. One of the things which Quran talks about is that mu'mineen should respect each other. They have to respect each other. Respecting each other is actually what we call it. There is a word in the Islamic literature that what is the way of respect, what is the word which is used for respecting each other is called hurma. Hurma, you know, that it means that, it is coming from the word of haram. But how come there is relationship between something is haram and something which is respect? So this is what inshallah Rahman, I'm going to talk a little bit today about this, that respecting mu'min is wajib. And it means that disrespecting the mu'min is haram. Okay? This is the meaning of hurmat. And mu'min, the respect will be construed from the word of mu'min itself. You see that one of the names of Allah is Al-Mu'min. Is that right? And also we see for the believers, mu'min, mu'minin, mu'minat. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. This is what Quran says. وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is called Al-Mu'min? Al-Mu'min has three connotations here. One, which is here for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is the source of tranquility and serenity and security. Al-Mu'min. You know, He is giving the security to everything. Al-Mu'min. That's why Quran says, you know, in order to feel security, you have to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you feel security. Ala bi dhikrillah. This is what Quran says. Ala bi dhikrillah tatma'innul qulub. You know, this is the mu'min. Allah is here mu'min. When you can find that in the Quran that Allah is al-mu'min, this verse of Quran, ala bi zikrillah tatma'innul qulub. And also there is another connotation. Mu'min is that actually is the one who is trustworthy. You know? This is the moment too. That when you give, you know, something as a trust to someone, you say, brother, you know, I'm going to a trip for 2 weeks. And I have something so precious, I cannot keep it at the house. Can you keep it for me for 2 weeks? So when I am back, I'm going to take it from you. Why you are giving to him? Because you know that he is mu'min. You know that he is not going to betray you. This is the mu'min. This is aman. Aman. That's why it is called in Arabic, this type of security, amanat. Huh? The word of amanat. Quran says we offer the amanat of this, you know, actually the earth and actually the heavens to the, you know, mountains. Actually, they were not capable to carry the trust. Then the human being actually was, you know, able to carry this trust because he had the potential of being trustworthy. So this is the meaning of, you know, the second connotation of mu'min. And the third connotation is that other people are secure from your evil. You know, they are secure that you are not going to inflict evil on them. This is also is within the meaning of iman. And from here, it is the hurmat al-mu'min. Hurmat al-mu'min means that, you know, the mu'min is always trusting you, your brother, his brother in iman, that he is not going to betray him. He is not going to inflict, you know, harm to him. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-Muslimu, the Muslim, in Quran, sometimes Muslim and Mu'min are identical. Sometimes are different, but mostly they are identical. Here Prophet says, al-Muslim, the real Muslim is the one, salim al-Muslimuna min yadihi wa lisanih, that they feel secure that his brother would not harm him by his tongue or by his hand. One of the type of insecurity is that, some people, they are so liberal in talking against their brothers and sisters. They are doing ghaybat, la samahallah. They are gossiping against their brothers. And this is actually what Quran says. When you do the gossiping, when you do the ghaybat, you are like actually eating the flesh of your dead brother. And here in this verse of Quran, I'm just reciting it to you again. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم. Don't mock your brother. Don't deride your brother or your sister in face. Talk against him, mock him, laugh at him. This is what will happen sometimes, Or, disdain him. Sometimes, you are using contempt against your brother. Oh, how much he's making? $20,000. Oh, he's making $100,000. You are actually treating your brother in face based on his income. You are violating his hurmat. You are not qualified to take this position because your job is low. No, this is not acceptable. This is what Quran says. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى يكونوا خيرا منهم. If you mock this person, maybe he is better than you before the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, then Quran says, وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. Sometimes, some people, they are mocking other people by word. Sometimes doing this mocking by gesture, by the eyes, by the hands, by the eyebrows sometimes. This is all called, that's why I say, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. What is the difference between humaza and lumaza? Humaza, you are describing the flaws of your brother by word, but lumaza is you are revealing this flaws by gesture, by action. It was said that some of the ladies of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they were mocking the other lady. I'm not going to mention their names, they were saying that she is shorty. And so this is what they were saying, that this, the verse is applicable and on them. So this is what Quran says, that maybe this lady, you are mocking her, she's better in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than you. Also they said this verse of Quran was about someone at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. His name was Sabit. Sabit, he had difficulty in hearing, so in order to listen Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he had to go past through the mu'mineen to get close to Rasulullah in order he would be able to listen to Rasulullah. One day, and he was calling people, tafassahu, tafassahu, open the road for me. He wanted to go there, close to Rasulullah. One day, it was a crowd, and he wanted to be close, so close to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He went there, someone was sitting next to Rasulullah, and he asked, look, Sabit, we can sit here, it's okay. But not so close as he used to sit, actually. But he was not happy with this. And what happened, later on, he talked to this guy who asked him to sit in his place. And said, who are you? He said, I'm, for example, Abdullah or something. Oh, I know your mother. His mother in Jahiliyat had no good reputation. Oh, this is your mother. And he said this in in a way that there was the quality of contempt in his statement. And, that's why this verse of Quran, they said, was revealed, that don't mock people. And this guy was so ashamed, and his head was down after he said, this guy said about his mother. Or they were talking against new Muslims. For example, one of the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was Safiya. Safiya was, before coming to Islam, she was Jew. She was a Jew. So every time, even though she was the wife of Rasulullah, they were calling her Jew. You are Jewish. You are Jew. They were not recognizing her as a Muslim. And they say maybe this verse of Quran was about, this people. When he is Muslim, don't actually use the nicknames against them, these people. لا تنابزوا بالألقاب. Alqab means actually nicknames. And Prophet said, okay, next time if they say to you, you are Jew, tell them that you are the wife of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And your uncle is Harun, and your grandfather is Musa. Why? Actually, Islam is, so sensitive about these issues, because all of these issues will actually weaken the bond of brotherhood among Muslims. That's why, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran says, don't do this. Or making disunity among Muslims based on actually their financial situation. They were mocking Salman, or actually Suhaib al-Rumi, or Bilal. Oh, these people, they don't have money. And, as Quran says, sometimes, these people would be better than you. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said about Ammar, تقتلك الفئة الباغية. The people who are against Islam, they will kill you, Ammar. And so that's why all of this would be within the hurmat of mu'min. There is a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm going to conclude my speech today by this hadith, which was narrated by Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. In this hadith, he said that نظر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إلى الكعبة. He said Rasulullah looked the Kaaba and he addressed the Kaaba. مرحبا بك من بيت ما أعظمك وأعظم حرمتك. Said, how great you are, Baytullah, the house of God, and how great is your hurmat. How actually is the hurmat which you possess, Kaaba. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Wallah annal mu'min a'azzamu hurmatan mink." But Kaaba, mu'min, his hurmat, his sanctity is greater than your sanctity. لأن الله حرم منك واحدة ومن المؤمن ثلاثة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made one thing haram in regard to you, that you cannot, you see that you cannot do fighting during the month of haram. Okay, this is related to the Kaaba. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did three things haram for mu'min. Damuhu wa maluhu. You know, his blood has hurmat, has sanctity. You cannot shed the blood of mu'min, and his property. Wa maluhu is not only the blood, also his property, his wealth, his money have hurmat according to this hadith. Then وَأَنْ يُظَنَّ بِهِ ظَنْ السُّوءِ. You know, that don't make assumption, negative assumption against your brother in faith. You see that some people, if something happened is not looking right, some people making fast the judgment, he had bad intention. But hadith says that, Quran says, إِنَّ الظَّنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا. That assumption is not the substitute for certainty. Unfortunately, many people, they are wrong because they are making judgment based on assumption, based on dhann. But Quran says, إِنَّ الظَّنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا. Sometimes you have good assumption, but most of people, they are following their wrong assumptions. Talking to someone, and sometime you see that this happens. The phone is disconnected. Oh, he hung up at me. Oh, this guy, disrespected me. Then when you find out, oh, actually his phone is dead. But many people, I notice many people, they actually making judgment based on these issues. Okay, he hung up on me, and he was wrong because this is based on assumption. I maybe said this, the late Mutahari rahmatullahi alayh, he was saying that the most of errors happens because of the assumption. And most assumptions actually would be wrong too. Said one person was going to Hajj, and he was doing tawaf, and somebody called his name. Ya Ahmad! Ya Ahmad! He said, he's calling me? I said, no, mashallah, here we have thousands of people doing tawaf. Maybe we have many Ahmad here. So he continued his tawaf. Then he heard from the same person, he said, Ya Ahmad ibn Abdullah. And he was Ahmad ibn Abdullah. I said, no, maybe he's calling me because I'm Ahmad ibn Abdullah. And But the Sir said, maybe also some people are here and they are, Ahmad ibn Abdullah. Third time he called him, Ya Ahmad ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. He said, oh, maybe, actually the possibility was higher here. He said, maybe he's calling me. But he said, no, maybe somebody is Ansari too. But the fourth time he said, Ya Ahmad ibn Abdullah al-Ansari al-Nahrawani. Because his last name was Nahrawani. He said, no, definitely he's calling me. Come on, brother, what do you want? I am Ahmad ibn Abdullah al-Ansari al-Nahrawani. He said that you are Ahmad ibn Abdullah al-Ansari al-Nahrawani, Eastern Nahrawan or Western Nahrawan? He said, no, I'm from Eastern, so I'm looking for the Western. Okay. So he was giving this example that sometimes you see that, you think that you are close to the certainty, but still you are acting upon your assumption. Don't make judgment till you are sure that you are certain. إن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا. Just remember this verse of Quran, brothers and sisters. Whenever you are actually, have the temptation to act upon the assumption, remember this verse of Quran. إن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا. اللهم جعلنا ممن يتبع الحق، ممن يعرف الحق فيتبعه إن شاء الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا أمير المؤمنين ولي الله أشهد أن عليا أمير المؤمنين حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم وهو العزيز الحكيم. ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. قل يا أيها الذين هادوا إن زعمتم أنكم أولياء لله من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين
ولا يتمنونه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين. قل إن الموت الذي تفرون منه فإنه ملاقيكم ثم تردون إلى عالم الغيب والشهادة فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما. قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. الله أكبر. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. أنت ولي في الدنيا والآخرة. توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
الرحيم أنت إلهي حليم قادر رؤوف غافر وملك قاهر ورازق بديع مجيب سميع بيدك نواصي العباد وقواصي البلاد حي قيوم جواد ماجد كريم رحيم أنت إلهي المالك الذي ملكت الملوك فتواضع لهيبتك الأعزاء ودانت لك بالطاعة الأولياء فاحتويت بإلهيتك على المجد والسناء ولا يؤودك حفظ خلقك ولا قلت عطاياك بمن منحته سعة رزقك.
اللهم صل على
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا أمير المؤمنين ولي الله أشهد أن عليا أمير المؤمنين حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. رب أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وادخلني برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حميده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حميده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم قل لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا عنا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها سبيلا.
Recite a Surah Fatiha for all Mu'minun, especially for Brother Ibrahim Mohsin, who was uncle of Brother Zahid, father of Moulana Tabarsi, Sheikh Najmuddin Tabarsi, and all Mu'minun. Please recite a Surah
بسم الله
Fatiha.
الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد.
Please recite 5 Salam Majid for those who are sick, especially for Brother Muhammad Raza, Asif Naqvi, and all those Mu'minun who are sick. Follow Moulana.
أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء يجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون صلوا على محمد.
Madisa Chalom on October 9, Sunday. Quran Khani will be at 4 o'clock to 5:30, and then Moulana's speech will be. All program will finish before Maghrib. Please attend that one.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا حبيب الله، السلام عليك يا محمد بن عبد الله، السلام عليك يا صفة الله، السلام عليك يا أمين الله، والسلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوسيين، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا مولاي وعلى أنصارك المستشهدين معك جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا قامع الكفر والطغيان، السلام عليك يا دافع الظلم والعدوان، عجل الله فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد